Hello everyone, and welcome back once again to Project Zomboid. And though our physical wounds may have healed by now, I really am running out of time to spare. I am losing weight very rapidly. I need to get these cans open, I need to find more food. I'm going to start having to rely more on foraging, but that won't be useful until I've leveled it up more. I need a more immediate solution. And so, in the morning, I'm heading back to the neighborhood where our original house was, and I'm going through those houses one way or another. Whether I have to kill everything or lure it into the woods, I need an opportunity to get in there. Okay, hear you out here. There you are. Now, what some of you had said, and I actually knew this, so I don't know why I wasn't doing it, it's just not like the way I'm used to doing it. I can hold down right-click to put myself in this ready stance. There is no reason for me not to have been doing this the whole time, and it's honestly a wonder it didn't get me killed. On my recording keyboard, it's actually very difficult to quickly and smoothly make the transition from Control to Shift. This makes it so much easier. Like, that's almost gotten me killed so many times. But 12.6 degrees Fahrenheit, we need these logs. See, I love what a safety bubble you can build from the atmospherics of this game. Fire gives you light, it gives you warmth. You actually feel the comfort of your character, and it's actually easy to empathize with them through the expression of the moodles. I mean, during a normal summer start game, I actually really can't stand wearing leather, just because it gives me the sweaty moodle. Or I think it's just like a regular wet moodle, but I know what it represents. But let's begin our trek. It's very cold, but we're just gonna have to deal with it. There's a lot in these woods, definitely a consequence of me trying to lure them over here all the time. Some of you have said that I should be stomping more often than I'm using the crowbar. Well, two reasons why I'm not doing that. First of all, I need to save energy so I can keep fighting. And second of all, like, I want to build my maintenance skill, which the crowbar is good for that early game because it has very high condition to begin with. So it'll last a long time, and I do have like several of these things now, and the means to get more. As I go, I'm just kind of killing what I can when I can, but I still definitely want to save my energy. But it's not always the easiest thing, and my character still panics quite easily in this early game. That's one cool feature, is that over time your character develops more of a tolerance to being around the undead, which gives them an edge in combat later on compared to the early game. It's actually crazy how great your character becomes after a while. I mean, early game, you feel like you're having to stealth everything, and, well, eventually you become Horace Barnes, just clearing entire city streets with a machete. If we survive this whole run, another thing I might want to do this episode is to head back to McCoy and start checking on those cars. If we get a car, that will be an absolute godsend, not only because they have interior heating, but also because that expands the range that we can search quite considerably. I mean, right now, we really have no means of doing more than our immediate area. We just don't have the food to walk long distances, even though we do have a tent. And that fire is still burning. You believe that? I know it probably only burns while we're in view, but still. Now, also in this area is, the trailer park, so maybe we could head down to there. Maybe there won't be so many large clusters. This biker zombie had a bandana and aviator glasses. Alright, well, let's wear those. I wasn't sure if that would actually, like, darken things, but we can wear this bandana on our face. I actually like how there's different configurations we can wear it in, and it does provide a small amount of insulation. I notice it's a bit warmer now, too. It might be too small for you to read, that top UI, but I don't know if the temperature it displays is what our character feels or the actual objective temperature. All I know is that the fire that's ravaged this neighborhood might limit our scavenging options at least a little. Now let's be very careful before we enter. I saw a lot of zombies on fire here last time, so I'm really hoping that a lot of them will have died. Nothing on these bookshelves. Do you know how rare that is in the vanilla game? Just goes to show how rare these loot spawns really are. Rotten mutton chop, that'll definitely hurt us if we try to eat it. And this first house is not so fruitful. I'm mainly looking for a can opener. Now, some of you have pointed out there is a can opener mod that allows me to use like other things, such as a knife. I will do that rather than lose this character, but I'm going to try to go on without it. Speaking of, some of you had asked what mods I'm using. It's only a handful. Besides, like, Raven Creek is enabled, but we're never going to see that. I have expanded helicopter events. I have vanilla firearms expansion, and what else? There's at least one more. Oh, and Filibuster Rhymes used cars. There they all are, still burning. Unfortunately, that's my neighborhood that's burning down, and this was my house. Tell you what, I kind of would like to have that oven mitt as a souvenir. But I don't think there's going to be anything to salvage from this place. I feel like a ghost walking through the ruins of my old life. I had read that the amount of poison that we get from rotten food is relative to the amount of hunger that it cures. Well, we're finding some stuff, but still no can openers. Things that are edible, but that we can't really do anything with. Oh, wait. This is something I've never done before, but it may be something we need. We can actually use these alarm clocks as lures. Dehydrated meat stick, yes. Okay, so finally one of you spawns with some actually good food. Alright, that helps us immensely. We've actually completely eliminated our hunger. We're not quite to the point of gaining weight, but we do have a tub of margarine for that. More canned stuff, which I will take. I've been ignoring canned stuff, but, like, I'm gonna really regret that once I do actually find a can opener. If I do actually find a can opener. Mechanics Volume 4. I would also really like to find a foraging book, which I'm pretty sure it might have been in my house in the beginning. Oh, bathroom zombie, bathroom zombie, bathroom zombie. I should have been prepared for that. I am so lucky that didn't just immediately kill me. Oh god, I hate these things. Soap, sleeping tablets. I think soap allows us to clean clothes with less water, or maybe that requires cleaning liquid now, I don't know. I would like to wash this stuff at some point, but it's all in such horrible shape anyway. I don't think I have a single article of clothing that didn't come off of dead bodies. More of this. Oh, but we can actually open canned corned beef. Okay, we are going to want to eat that right away. That is actually some real good protein. All right, let's gobble that down. We are finding a lot of food, just not a lot that we can actually eat. But of course, we're going to want to take all this. Look at that. For the first time, we're well fed. That's going to help us immensely. Ooh, and we actually do have a handgun and some ammo. Now, that's not something we're going to want to use a lot of right now, but we will take it. You know, it feels really nice to actually have a successful loot run for a change. I mean, it's been all doom and gloom up until this point, but things are really starting to look up, especially as this neighborhood clears. It gives us an inroad into someplace we can actually scavenge now, instead of just having to live on the periphery like a mouse. The lower we go, there's still more of them. But we are starting to come across at least some intact structures. Going to be a little bit more challenging than before, but I think we're more than equipped to do it. Okay, so there's a bunch in there and a bunch over here. So we definitely want to pull you guys first. Die. You get out, and you will die as soon as you climb through. Okay, this particular herd is proving a bit difficult to manage, because they're clustering up in a way where they're not single file. Of course, remember, each one we kill makes this quite a bit easier, so we've just got to keep kiting. Problem is, our extreme panic from being near so many is also affecting our ability to fight them. I don't like zooming in so close, because I'm worried about backing into some. But it's really just move, hit, move, hit. And there goes our crowbar. That's alright, we have another one. Yeah, this didn't look like much from a distance, but this has actually proved one of the more challenging herds I've dealt with. Just because of the way they seem to be clustering up, like forming a line at the front rather than a single file. Okay, we can start doing this, though. The fewer of them there are, the more chances we have to turn around and swing, which means there's less of them, which means we can swing more. Just works out. But now we're getting drowsy. We're gonna have to RTB soon. Probably spend the night at the farmhouse. We just can't... Between the panic, the drowsy, and the high exertion, there's just... We can't fight this anymore. It's just not even worth it. Our character is exhausted. It's getting dark. Let's just search this one place and then head back. I think there actually is another sizable herd nearby, so we're gonna wanna be as stealthy as can be. I'm tempted to sit on the ground, but I don't know how much time we have. Tempted to clear this glass, but I don't know how much noise it'll make. A dead mouse, it's not even worth it. Processed cheese, no. It just cures so little hunger. Dried chickpeas, that's actually quite a lot. Maybe we can do something with that if we use, like, I don't know, like some water that we boil? This was actually a really successful run. We cleared out a significant portion of the starting area, and now we actually have a road to start moving south into the lower part of Muldrow without having to fight through the absolute masses that are on the southern part of our current base. But I don't think we're making it back home tonight. I think we're gonna have to go back to the farmhouse. What a relief to finally come to my cornfield. After wandering around in the woods, I mean, a line of sight is bad enough, but when you really have nothing in the dark, it's really terrifying. Knowing that any second you could be face to face with a zombie that you didn't previously know was there. Although we are in a bit of a signs moment right now, but I don't think they've added aliens to the game yet. I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a soup out of these chickpeas. Oh no, are you guys showing up here now too? What caused you to wander over here? That's a little bit disconcerting. I see the bodies of the ones we cleared out the first time have despawned. I didn't even notice that. Ooh, shotgun ammo. Okay, that's definitely something we're going to want. Even at level 0 aiming, shotguns are extremely useful, and, well, we do have a gun to use them with. It's not a whole ton of shells, but it's enough that if we gather more, it'll start to be useful. Hello, what is that through you? Some kind of makeshift spear? That's an interesting device you got there. Mind if I try it for myself? What is it? Spear with screwdriver. Okay, well these things don't tend to last very long, but I'll certainly take them. Okay, stab and stab. I love spears so much. The animation is just so satisfying. Just look at this battle-hardened survivor. Every once in a while, I'll just think about how far we've come since that wounded, drunken man nakedly limping through the forest while freezing to death, hypothermic. You've got a gun. You've got a safety Glock! Okay, well that's coming with us. It's got a full magazine as well, or close to it. Oh. Oh, that's a problem. I mean, that is an exceptional level of detail for this game, but that's a problem. Okay, one of the corpses on the ground here is wearing a digital watch with a timer set for, I guess, about this time of day, probably noon. Oh, which means that at this time, every single day, it'll draw zombies to this location. By the way, one of my favorite features of this game is the ability to place any item just wherever you want, rotate it, and it makes the bases feel so much more alive. I mean, I definitely achieved the barely functioning alcoholic aesthetic with this thing. Now, let's head over to that pond and get some water. Look at us, walking to the water to fill up a pot. Dealing with dangers along the way. What is this, National Geographic? Now, how do we actually do this? The cool thing about having this stove is that it essentially means that, well, we have infinite water. Being able to go to that pond and get more at a moment's notice means we're good in that category pretty much forever. So I'm not sure if in order to create stew, we don't need to, like, purify the water first or boil it? I noticed it was also giving us the option to create a stew out of random beans. Does that mean we can actually have, like, a workaround to open some of those cans? I don't know. I'm just going to go with the sure thing and use chickpeas. We've used all our chickpeas and apparently some random beans. I don't know, the contains thing right there seems to be all chickpeas, but whatever. Now we can cook it. Apparently that'll give us plus 25 on happiness. But it is the most substantial thing we've had so far. That's one of the funny things about this game, is that zombie apocalypse, no big deal. Slaughtering legions of your now trying to kill you undead friends and neighbors, no problem. Slightly cold fries, oh my god, how can I go on? Just place some firewood we got beside the stove, because this is actually a Christmas special. And we'll see how this is going. I hope I didn't burn it. Looks like we are actually just on time. Will that reduce the unhappiness? No, it won't. But it will make it quite a bit better. Look at all that hunger that it's curing. Okay, let's eat just a quarter of it. Yep, just drink it straight out of the pot. We could put it in a bowl, but I don't think we have any. And there we are, well fed. Full to bursting even from just a quarter. Oh, we may even be able to arrest our weight loss this way. Can we actually place it? Oh, we can! We can place it on top of the stove! Oh, that is delicious! Oh, this place is starting to feel like home already. Even if I'm not sure I intend to stay here for a while, placing that stove here actually does sort of tether me to the spot. And look at that, just like that, we are gaining weight. That's going to be important because we don't want to become underweight because that'll start to give us debuffs. So this will definitely help us out. And just like Grandma always said, let's not forget to take some antidepressants to go with our soup. And Thanksgiving memories. I don't know if being depressed actually does anything. You know what we could do? We could try to entertain ourselves. Maybe sit on the ground and by firelight read ourselves a book. You know, if we could find a generator, find the book to use it, which is very unlikely in this series, we could even find some VHS tapes and bring back home media. Watch some TV. But for now, I think this will do just fine. Probably better than those antidepressants would. Although it does seem like it's sort of working. We're actually running low on cigarettes as well, so we'll have to find some more. And look at that, all of our existential dread just gone in an instant. The power of reading, folks. Having fun isn't hard when you've got a library card. There we are, now up to weight 76, and keeping it going as much as we possibly can. Yeah, finding that bag of chickpeas has honestly been like the best thing that's happened to us in a while. But now it's time to head out there and see what we can do about getting a car for McCoy. If we can do that, I think we'll be in much better shape. Yeah, see, the problem is every time we've been through here, we've been bringing more and more zombies into these woods. So it's going to be even more dangerous than the first time. We need to stay with a close-in view. Try and keep to the areas with better visibility. But that's really all we can do. I think we're coming out on the other side. Okay, good. Now, I have actually brought the wood axe with me, and I'm thinking that if I can cut down one of these trees... I had a look, and I think the recipe to make a campfire doesn't include stones anymore. It seemed like I could maybe make one just with a couple of logs and some ripped sheets. But not if these guys are going to be like this. Tell you what, how about we get our first axe kill of the game? Would you like that? So satisfying. Now here's the trick. We don't want to burn down the buildings, but I would also not really like to burn down the forest. That would be a chain reaction that would be going for a very long time in this save. So let's kill as many as we can to begin with, and then make it somewhere near the entrance. Yeah, the fog definitely makes this a much more dangerous day to be doing this. I can see a cluster right there, so I think right here in the middle of the open lot is where we're going to build our fire. So let's put that right here-ish. We'll find out how long that's going to last for. So campfire info, 0 minutes unlit. I knew there were some in here, but just the 2 and nobody else close. That does give us the opportunity to loot this place as well. If I had brought like a hammer and saw, I could have broken down these boxes for wood. As it stands, it's kind of surprising how little is in them. Or maybe I've gotten here to find I don't even have to do this, but of course lowering their numbers is never a bad thing. The loot rarity is such that there are no logs in the logs. Astounding. Simply astounding, game. Alright, well, forget that. Let's just light this fire and get this show on the road. Gotta be very, very careful where we're standing when we do this so we don't accidentally kill ourselves here. There we go, and let's begin the yelling. Of course, now there's, like, nothing here. Oh, here it all is. Come on, guys. Could use you all. I probably could have made a run for those cars myself. But who doesn't want to see this? Let's be real. We are trying to entertain here. Some of you might consider this to be cheating. I consider having this many zombies in the world to be cheating. Alright, you guys this way. You'll definitely catch if I do this right. Right over here. Come on now. There's one, and there's a bunch more. Now if we can steer them into each other, that should be the start of something cool. And we level up our sprinting. You know, not a bad time to do that. Now we've just got to keep them steering into each other, but we got to make sure they don't get close to us either. Oh, it's these stragglers that are going to make this so much more difficult. See, the good thing is that they're spreading the fire across the ground as well, which means that they don't all have to walk on the campfire. I don't know if they catch amongst each other, but this is definitely the lowest effort we've ever put into killing so many zombies deliberately. I think one died. Ah, yes, I can hear more of them popping. This is great. This is excellent. It's starting to work out. And I can't imagine the rest of them have long. I mean, a few more have been attracted since. But yep, they're starting to go. Up. We have new ones arriving. Tell you what, get down there and join them. Oh, this is so dangerous. Burn! Burn! Sadly, I see one of them actually has a hand axe. He's not on fire yet, so hopefully he won't catch. Yeah, we've more or less eliminated the threat. The only thing that kind of sucks is that we can't really safely engage these last few, because we could risk catching on fire ourselves, I think. I don't know if that's actually how it works, but that would be quite a time to find out. Of course. Of course, okay. Well, I think maybe what we'll have to do in that case is bring all this back around and just start the process all over again. Maybe we won't stick around the entire time, I don't know. Maybe we'll have to deal with some burning we don't want to do, but you know what? It's all okay because the cars will be fine. More of you catching. And we'll just see how long we want to stay here before we bug out, honestly. I mean, I kind of don't want to give this up. I'm starting to think that maybe I just wait for this herd to die and then sleep in this building tonight. I mean, the lower part of this facility has been largely cleared at this point, even more once these guys are gone. Maybe that's what I do. Maybe I sleep in that back room in this building. It won't be comfortable, but I think I could do it. I don't really feel confident enough to sleep in one of the staff break rooms, as I've done on other saves in the past, but I feel like it's a waste of energy and effort to go home. Still no can openers, I should add. I guarantee some of these guys probably had some. Well, maybe we can have a look at this and get some of the rotten food that we found cooked. The rancid dead rat. I don't see what other choice we have at this point. Roaches and dead rats. It's amazing how well we were eating a day ago compared to how we're eating now. But you gotta do what you gotta do, and as long as it doesn't kill us, it keeps us in the game. It's all about arresting weight loss right now. We're not really close to starving to death, but we get closer and closer the longer we go without finding a can opener. Actually, it's not going to be nice, but I think our best option is going to be to sleep in a chair. Which, I'm not kidding, this game is so detailed that it can actually cause us back pain when we wake up in the morning. Here we are, and we seem to have come out okay. This flashlight now completely dead. Wow, there's a lot over here that didn't follow me last time. But see, that truck right there, I already know that I have everything I need to bring it out of here. I mean, it's in good condition, I have the keys, I just need to get some gas in it. Which should hopefully be doable. The problem is I don't have a gas can to do the siphoning with either. Alright, I need all of you this time. I don't like doing this in parts, it makes it take so much longer. Is this unrealistic? Yes. Is it broken? Yes. I've never done this before, but it is definitely the kind of scenario that I don't feel bad about cheating on. This almost feels like a much cheesier version of watching Rick and crew take the prison in The Walking Dead. I mean, that was obviously much cooler to watch. They were all organized, they had a system for how they were taking it down. But this honestly feels like, you know, I'm creating a new outpost here. And every outpost we create, every somewhat safe place, extends our range just that little bit farther. Man, look at that. We've officially made it to 14 days. 2 weeks since before. Alright, well, I think we don't need the help of the fire to deal with the rest of what's here. I think we can handle this quite on our own, using the old methods. I don't want to get too reliant on using campfires for everything. Especially since, you know, time is very much a resource. We don't really have any food out here. Now, we know this guy doesn't have gas, but is otherwise functional. Nothing in the back. What about some of these other vehicles? I mean, a car would be more ideal anyway. You're locked. We've also got to check the ground around them, because sometimes keys do actually spawn on the floor near vehicles. This one's open. No keys. We do have alcohol wipes, though, which can help if we get an infected wound. What about this one? Locked. So really, the only viable one is that other one. You have got a shotgun, which maybe we could make use of. Oh, there's so many inside. Alright, well, forget that place. The only thing standing in the way of us getting a car right now is a gas can. We get that, we can siphon something from these others, and bring this thing out of here and figure out what to do next. The campfire strategy will certainly be employed in town, but that's a much more dangerous game. Ah, there's a gas can in the back of this one! Okay. Well, that was worth clipping the mic for. Okay, can we siphon gas from any of you? There's actually just as high chances we won't be able to get anything. Not to mention, you gotta click on, like, the exact right area for it to even tell you that there's gas in them. A whole lot still milling about over here. Yep! Okay, this is an exploratory run. We're just gonna find out if these do have anything inside. I don't understand this. Like, you all just ran out of gas the instant you pulled into the lot? Like, how does this work? None of you have gas. Not a single... Oh, wait, you do. You do. Probably won't be a lot, but you do have it. Alright, how would you guys like to warm up? So we're exhausted and tired, and about to begin the biggest draw we've yet done. Oh, look at all this. All this. Really very dangerous. I hope that thing's still going. And so it begins. All of this for what's probably just a few drops of gasoline. What's kind of cool is that we can actually use the light from your fire to gain a rough idea of where you are behind us without turning around. so that's pretty useful. At this point, the amount of zombies killed by fire must actually be comparable to the amount that I've killed myself, 742. I mean, maybe like 200 or 300 this way. Actually, our actual kill count is probably over 1,000. They're all starting to go. Yeah, we've really been shredding water the past couple episodes, which is why I'm really happy for our progress now. The past couple days have been a huge series of wins. I intend to leave here in a vehicle. For as starving as we are, I think we're once again forced to sleep in here. But in the morning, we'll either ride out of here or walk. In any case, we can't stay. And hey, as we cross over the threshold from midnight to morning, it's Christmas Eve. So many of you didn't follow me. So many of you didn't follow me. That is so annoying. Well, we've got plenty of combat still to do then. We're gonna have to eliminate all this, and I'm not gonna bother with a fire now. Actually, while I'm trying to lure them, I do actually have a pretty good opportunity to level my sneak skill. I think anytime I take a step and one of them, like, doesn't detect me, it gives me a little bit. It is actually fairly possible to, like, farm sneak in this game, which is pretty funny. Shh, pipe down, Sneak. They're gonna hear you. Now, we can siphon gas out of this vehicle, but we don't need to if we just have the key, so that's fine. It's actually going to be probably much more fuel efficient as well. All right, let's just check the back. I think I just put it back in, but whatever. Let's just check the back. Nothing but an empty pop can. Anything we can get from you? Yeah, you guys could do that. You could. But I think I'm just going to transfer this to my inventory. Climb over the seat. Get the heck out of here. There's no battery. There's no battery. Okay. Okie doke. Why not? Alright, well, let's have a look at some of these other vehicles. What kind of batteries do they take? And more importantly, do they have anything in them? Your battery is somewhere, 0% remaining. It's going to be like this for all of them. How are these here? Yep, battery 0% in every single vehicle. Even if we did gas this thing up, we can't leave in it. It's honestly, like, the rarity of everything, the condition of everything is honestly to the point of absurdity. So that means the only way we're going to be able to get this going is if we can somehow get a car battery charger, a generator, a how-to-use generator manual, which is basically to say we are never going to have a car in this game. They have already reinfested this front area. To do all that, to kill literally hundreds and have the reward be nothing? That's more than a little bit demoralizing. I mean, we basically just found out that we're never going to have a car, unless we can maybe find a battery with something somewhere. But I have a feeling that's just going to be part of the settings, is that it's like, you know, it's 6 months in, there's nothing in any of the batteries. Well, it's Christmas morning. Happy birthday to me. As a little Christmas/birthday present to myself, I've gone ahead and installed the More Can Openers mod. So now if we have a look in here, maybe we'll just choose the highest calorie food we can find. Canned corn at 315. So now that I've gone ahead and enabled it, we can open canned corn. Now here's the thing. It's dependent on certain levels, although we're well above strength 3, which the workshop page says we need to use small knives as can openers. It also said that there's a chance of injuring ourselves, which sort of makes sense, I suppose, and it is sort of a drawback to not having a proper can opener, so we're not just getting off scot-free, but there's our opened canned corn, which we can now eat, and hopefully that'll help us out a bit. Well, since we've got all this going for us, and we do have the strategy in our back pocket now, I think the time has come for us to perform a little Christmas miracle. We've still got that alarm clock in our backpack, we've got a couple of logs, we have the knowledge of how to build a fire. The body in front of our door has just decayed away, thus proving that if you just ignore problems, they will go away eventually. That's a lot of you. Maybe if we cut down some of these trees, it could help us, but I don't know, because the fire might just spread on grass. Wait, I'm bleeding? When did I get scratched? Okay, disinfect with alcohol wipes. I have no idea when or how that happened. Maybe running through the woods? Alright, put a thing on that. I figure if I can't have a Christmas miracle, there should at least be a Christmas something. So instead of doing this the smart way, since I apparently can't, I've decided I'm going to do this the dumb way instead. Place this just right over here. This has immense potential to backfire. But there it goes. And now what we will do is we will light this fire. According to the fire info, it'll burn for 12 hours. And take this here alarm clock and set the alarm for 2:30, 20 minutes from now. Alarm, okay. And we will simply place it down right beside it. And now we hang back like Wile E. Coyote and see if the Roadrunner takes the bait. Why isn't it going off? Oh, it is. It's just not actually working from very far. Okay, that sucks. I've never used one of these before, but I didn't realize it would be so crappy. Alright, now, the main issue here is going to be, we're obviously going to want to walk you over this fire, but unlike before, there's a lot more at stake. So what we're going to want to do is lead you over here and then south. Now let's try and call up everything we can. We want all this stuff that's down here, coming up to meet us, which is the absolute last thing I've wanted to do up until now. But it's just something we've got to do. There's so much around us that, like, we risk burning down that's important to us. Actually, maybe we don't have to bring them up to the fire. Maybe these first guys can act as sort of a pilot light that keeps this whole thing going. As long as we can keep them circling each other, they'll burn each other down, not to mention the entire forest, but we'll worry about that when we come to it. It's like the old saying goes, anytime I have a problem, I throw a Molotov cocktail, and then within moments, I have a different problem. There's a very good chance we lose a lot of the neighborhood to this, but that's honestly okay, as long as we can, like, get a lot of the stuff down. Now, there could be stuff through these trees, that's always a possibility, but I'm willing to burn down this park while we're at it. Actually, keeping them trapped in these trees could be a good thing. I mean, that could act as sort of a giant bonfire that I keep luring them through. The fires will burn for a little while longer because they have fuel. They'll spread a little more readily. Yeah, this is actually kind of working out. My character is panicking quite heavily, which I get, to be honest. Like, I can see why. I can see why this might be a little bit of an anxious situation, but you're just gonna have to pull through. Oh man, this is among the dumbest things I've ever done in Project Zomboid, but I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. Let's get you two, the more the merrier. Even this might not be enough, just because, like, it's not even like these hyperdense clusters are, like, pooling in this neighborhood. This is just what's here. Like, this is just what it's like in this neighborhood. So, trying to burn you all down may not actually even work. Alright, through here, through here, through here. Over the fence, through the bushes. Oh. Yeah, I'd really hate to lose these survivor houses. There's probably a lot of food in them. You know, I've been playing this game for 9 years, hundreds of hours in it. And I have to say, this is by far the most apocalyptic imagery I've yet seen. Oh, truly mayhem and pandemonium. But we're doing okay so far, and whatever happens, well, I'm really happy to have made it this far. And I guess whatever survivors come through this area in the future will have a much easier time as a result. Well, maybe. I looked it up, and I'm pretty sure I saw somebody say that CDDA has, 4 times zombie spawns? Feels like a lot more than that. I don't usually have issue in Muldrow on regular Apocalypse, but, hey. I'm actually pretty happy that they seem to pool when line of sight is broken in those trees. It won't be broken as much, of course, but, hey, you gotta burn down a few forests to make an omelet. I don't know. I'm trying to survive, not talk. Hey, you know what would make this a lot easier? A car. Yep. Okay, this isn't safe. This isn't safe. This isn't safe. I'm trying to lure in more guys from the street, but maybe that's not what I should be doing right now. I just don't want to run through these trees, because who knows what's on the other side, you know? Like that. Like burning zombies. There could be burning zombies on the other side. That's one thing we don't want to see. This dude in the striped shirt over here has been around for a while and has somehow managed to evade burning this entire time. I have a feeling he's coming back with me as a pet. If I can, like, push you down, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but can you guys, like, just walk over him, please? It seems Striped Shirt has finally caught fire and is actually leading the charge. That was quite productive. That killed a lot. Certainly, even though we've killed 814, the true number is well over 1,000 at this point. And yet, we've barely made a dent. Striped Shirt is real persistent, I tell you what. This guy really wants me. It makes sense, but oh no, we can't really move. We can't really move. We have excessive exertion. Okay, we gotta keep walking until he's gone. This guy might actually kill me. There shouldn't be too much time left. Thank you. That zombie had an arc. You know what? A deep wound in our hand? It's from the can opener mod. The friggin' can opener mod is killing me. And we'll have to sew that later. That's actually really not good, because since we have wounds in both of our hands, that's going to cause pain whenever we go to do something. Alright, let's stitch that wound with a needle and thread. Jesus Griffiths just can't catch a break. Well, it's the day after Christmas, and already we're having problems. But that'll definitely keep us going. Make it a little less painful of an experience, at least. Lose a little less blood. I'm actually really worried. I don't know if it's possible to pop these stitches, but swinging a crowbar at heads for a long time would certainly do it if it were realistic. Oh my god, there's actually still quite a lot down there. So much that didn't die. I think we'll have to light another fire. All of you guys too. Everybody needs to come to this party. I'll tell you what, I'm also not used to not playing with keen hearing, which is causing me some problems right now, because ordinarily I would be able to tell these things coming up behind me really easily. Now I have to pretty much turn around, and sometimes they're right there. Now, the usual strat when doing stuff like this, and this will be patched at some point, is you get an emergency vehicle, something with a siren, that will call everything from all around, and you just plant it somewhere and then Molotov the crowd that comes. Unfortunately, we don't have any such benefit. Also, I don't understand why sometimes I can mash Q to call. Sometimes it doesn't seem to want to work at all. But we can now see clear through the park. Still plenty of grass tiles left to burn. But there's plenty of people down below that could use the privilege as well, I bet. This time the block becomes the epicenter and not that park, which is going to be very dangerous because our movement is very restricted. But I think it's what we've got to do. Now, I'm happy enough to have survived for this long. I mean, it's a huge achievement all its own. But we've had our Merry Christmas, and I'd like to have a Happy New Year. Flames are spreading in pretty much the worst place possible. The geography of this sort of favors me hanging out around the survivor house, but I really want to pull up now. Because I don't want this becoming... I don't want this right here being the epicenter, you know? But the Great Purge is at hand. Oh, look at this. You know, this is really a Christmas series. I should wait to release this until around Christmas time as a holiday special. In the same way that Home Alone is basically just Die Hard for kids at Christmas. This is basically... I don't know what to compare this to. But anyway, imagine it, but Christmas. Nope, move. Having to hop all these fences is so much more a curse than a blessing. Usually it helps. But in these numbers, and not being able to touch so much of this land, becomes a real problem real quickly. It also means we're going to have to spend more time running, which means we're going to get more fatigued, which means we're going to be slower. Choosing this as like our sacrificial yard is not the worst thing, but you know what would have helped would be being able to prepare. I mean, not really possible given all these guys, but being able to prepare and knock down some fences in advance would have been nice. The good thing about climbing over these fences is that it gives us an opportunity to sort of slow them down. It acts as a brake, which gives me a couple minutes to just sort of walk instead of run. And it's a good thing to have a sacrificial yard, just picking a place where it's like, okay, I'm going to stir them in this area. And right now, that's just to the south of the 2 survivor houses. I don't know if I've ever heard thunder in this game. Or I definitely have, but mostly during like rainstorms where I wouldn't think about it because the rain is so deafening. Now the good news is I do actually think this was a lot of what was in this neighborhood. I think we're a lot more clear than we were, and I can maybe be a little bit greedy and pay attention to where I'm going. And bring you guys up as well. Feels like the visibility is so poor. Like you guys are disappearing from my vision as soon as I see you. Through? Oh no, don't burn down the Fisher-Price playset. Oh. I wanted to bring that back to my base. See, early on, the problem was I couldn't get these things to stop following me. Now, the problem is they don't follow me when I want them to. All of you coming this way, please. I think they have, like, a certain memory that's defined in the settings that decides how persistent they'll be in actually pursuing you. Like, at the lowest setting, you go around a corner and they immediately lose interest. In others, they'll just continue in the direction they last saw you for a long time. I hope that anyone who finds this cheaty can see how much trouble I'm having, even just, like, doing it this way, and how truly and utterly impossible it would be otherwise. I mean, some of you actually advised me to just abandon the idea of looting this town at all. But where there's a will, there's a way. Ow. Well, there goes our hat, and I'm not going to be picking it up right now. Hopefully it doesn't burn away in the fire. That's one of the worst things about this game, is how often the green indicator just lies. Because when 1 second is life or death, that's really, really unacceptable. I hadn't considered this yet, but I wonder if this rain doesn't actually stop the spread somewhat. I mean, maybe good in that it may keep the places I want to keep alive, but will that potentially... I don't think it'll put the zombies out. I think once they're caught, they're caught, but it may stop some of them from catching in the first place. I'm hearing a bunch of them die all over. I think for the most part they're starting to go. Those original herds when we first came in are definitely long dead. I think it's those last straggler pods that are causing the issues now. And this guy. Come on, guys. Burn on top of him, please. There are drawbacks as well. I mean, some of these zombies have had guns on them. I see a hand axe and that guy right there. But it's just absolutely necessary at this point. Now, I think the way respawning works is that if I'm out of a cell for 3 days, they'll start to come back. But it's a trickle. I mean, I don't know. I say all this, but it's just speculation, because not only am I speculating on how the mechanics actually work, I'm speculating on the settings of CDDA, because one of the bigger strengths of Project Zomboid is that you can configure anything to your liking. There's actually a lot of uncaught coming up from the south. That could mean bad things. Oh, go away, go away, go away! No, 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 no! Don't catch fire, please! Oh, God, that could have screwed me over bad. Okay, move, 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 move! I'm playing so carelessly. I dropped my crowbar as well. Alright, spear it is. It's complacency. It's always complacency that'll kill you every time. And I'm bleeding again. My clothes, I'm sure, are absolutely wrecked now from all these scrapes and falls. Which is not good at all, but it's... I can't find more. They're just all in such horrible shape. So I'm just gonna cut and run at this point. Most of you are dead. The overwhelming majority are dead. And I'm just gonna go, because it's made it clear at this point that my biggest enemy is myself. And you should trust no one, not even yourself. I do actually have to wonder if maybe the rain doesn't, like, reduce the length of time it can stay lit for. Maybe it would be better if in the future, because I know they are overhauling, like, a lot of the crafting and survival mechanics in the next update. If maybe it was possible to construct, like, some kind of shelter for the fire. I don't know if that's a thing that's done in real life, but it would make sense. Actually, as long as it's raining and not snowing, I would do it right now if it weren't for the burning zombies chasing me. I'm not going anywhere near my base like this. I should be putting out a cooking pot to catch some of this so I can boil it. With all these scratches on me, like, they're fine by themselves, but they could potentially become infected. And I don't want that. And so it would be a really good idea to wash my clothes, finally. I mean, they're in horrible shape, but I'm not really going to find anything better at this time unless I can find, like, a clothes store. And that was a gunshot, which means anything in those woods down there might start coming out. We've got to hide. These things are starting to die off, but it's just all been so difficult. Alright, we're combat capable enough that that one that hasn't caught could still be dealt with, but man, I just want that last one to go. Just that last one to go. It is getting so dark. No batteries for our flashlight. God, I love spears. Yeah, it seems like every success we've had is marred in failure. But in the end, the only thing that matters is that you're able to crawl away from it. As long as you're alive, there's always something you can do. And that's the big lesson of this series, isn't it? That's the big lesson of this game. I'm pretty hungry. I would open some canned food, but I really don't want to right now because I don't want to risk slicing my hands open again. So we'll go to sleep, and in the morning we'll loot those houses. It seems we're not sleeping very well at all. I do have some newer clothes that I can wear here, so that'll help us somewhat. The left hand, we can probably remove that bandage. Anything that's staying clean, I assume is fine now. So let's get all that out. Okay, I think all of this is actually either healed or close to it, because nothing's really bleeding anymore. And we've got some new clothes that we luckily had. I can actually wash myself in the snow. That's kind of funny. Can't wash my clothes, though. But what I could do is place this down. I wonder if it'll fill up in the snow. It doesn't seem to be, but that's alright. If it turns to rain again, that'll be there. Quite cold out again, as you can imagine. There's just something so satisfying about walking through apocalyptic scenery of our own creation. And much of what survived the fires has made its way up here, meaning if we sneak our way through, we should have more or less free reign down here. More or less, of course, being relative. I think in this case, a better primary would actually be the pipe wrench for once than the spear. We don't have any levels in it, but all of you are going to have to line up. Oh, why does it feel like we're so slow? Is this maybe because that deep wound hasn't healed yet? I mean, go, 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 go. Oh, I hate it when the controls don't respond when I need them to. I've actually been getting very, very lucky in that regard with this playthrough. Not that it hasn't been happening a lot, because it has, but that it hasn't been killing me. Just the one of you left. And we'll want to be real careful approaching these survivor houses. Could still be things left inside. And honestly, I don't want to jinx this for anything. There is also the possibility, and this would be the worst thing ever, there's the possibility that one of these houses is alarmed. An adhesive bandage, that's the kind of stuff we could use. I think these wounds are healed. I think we can take these bandages off. But let's remove this broken glass. And do a 360 check, because we don't want anything coming in while we're here. We would not be able to get out in time. All looks to be good. Don't see anything inside. Of course, the sound of breaking the glass could always draw issues. Yeah, they were definitely in here, but it seems we're okay for the time being. Canned corned beef, which we do not need our can openers to open. And another pipe wrench, why not? And a rotten ham. Well, for a survivor house, that was pretty disappointing, but maybe the other will have something more? I don't think the survivor house designation extends to garages and sheds and the like, does it? No. There's a weapon, but not one we can use. One way in or out. What could go wrong? It would be really helpful for me to figure out where I dropped my crowbar. But I think the metal bar still counts as long blunt, so maybe we'll equip that for now. Now, what have we got here? A spatula, canned corn, canned sardines, dog food. More things we'll have to slice up our hands. Actually, a whole lot of canned food. This does keep us in. This was worth it. It certainly was worth doing. Keeps us alive longer, but it also helps us to kill more effectively. We got a rotten sausage, rotten pork chop. From what I've read about eating rotten food, they shouldn't be able to kill us. But stuff like this also helps catch up. It's just calories, you know? It's all just calories, and we need to keep our weight up. We've already fallen into underweight. But I think we're doing pretty well for ourselves now. I mean, that's the thing. You move mountains, and it's just to get yourself that little bit more. But this isn't all. This isn't all we've got at all. Bayonet. We've still got a lot more to do, and doing all those burns, it gave us the opportunity to loot a lot of this neighborhood. Chips, excellent. Dry ramen noodles. Oh, this couldn't be better. This couldn't have worked out better. So much food. It's the neighborhoods. The neighborhoods are where you want to be. But I can hear zombies about somewhere. A whole lot of rotten stuff. I'll take it. I just want to have the options. But of course, still no actual proper can opener that isn't going to slice my hands open. No matter. I'm happy with bringing this back for now and taking it easy for a few days while our wounds heal. Well, now that I look around, it came a little late, but we did get our white Christmas. And I suppose that in itself is a Christmas miracle, or what counts for one in the apocalypse. I think tomorrow I'm going to continue to check out those neighborhoods, maybe see if what the population is like further down, maybe even check out Cortman Medical if I get the chance. But it's just really disappointing that we weren't able to get a car going, and from what I've seen, won't be able to in the foreseeable future, unless maybe we can find a battery. This is so bad. I'm just going to lead you guys up into the woods. Even with all that, there's still so much here. I'm once again going to stop for a while and ask you guys for some advice, because I'm really out of my element here. Even though I've been playing the game for years, it's always been so much more action-y compared to playing on Apocalypse. Now I'm having to worry about the real survival, so could definitely use any help you can offer, and if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, the best place to suggest that will be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try this game out for yourself, that link will also be in the description. If you want to support me on Patreon, that link will be in the description. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Oh wait, I almost forgot. What are our final stats for the episode? Jesus Griffiths, you have killed 855 zombies, without fire, and survived for 18 days and 3 hours. I'm having a blast with this. Almost got me. Almost got me. Don't even know where you came from. Good. Oh my god.